This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so ever since Anthony Joshua defeated Jermaine Franklin, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that Anthony Joshua's next fight shouldn't be against a Frank Sanchez or a Joe Joyce, for example. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong, okay? I don't know. Until I see Joshua fight Frank Sanchez or Joe Joyce, I don't know what the result's going to be, okay? All we can do is have an opinion, and either A, you're going to be right, or B, you're going to be wrong. You've got a 50% chance, right? But the way people are talking, it's like Frank Sanchez and Joe Joyce are just going to get us all in our beds. You know, these are the new boogeymen. These are like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees walking around. I don't know what you're basing it on. That's my point. So Frank Sanchez fought last night against Daniel Martz, a guy who'd been knocked out 9 times beforehand. Okay, Frank Sanchez looked good. He got rid of him in 1 round. Okay, great. I would look good against Daniel Martz. Joseph Parker, who doesn't knock anybody out, knocked out Daniel Martz in 1 round as well. Charles Martin beat him. Fabio Wardley was actually Daniel Martz's last fight when Fabio Wardley was the English champion. That's how long it's been since Daniel Martz fought. Charles Martin beat him. Luis Ortiz beat him. Lots of people have beaten Daniel Martz. So what are you basing this on with Frank Sanchez? And again, don't nobody tell me he's 30 years old, because he ain't. Okay, in my opinion, he is not 30 years old. He's much older than that. But again, are people trying to perpetuate that he's the new replacement for Luis Ortiz? Again, Luis Ortiz had this reputation for what? Who did he beat? He hasn't beat anyone. What, because Frank Sanchez defeated F.A. Jagba? Okay, well, what's F.A. Jagba done? He's knocked out a few journeymen. Okay, great. Frank Sanchez is a very, very boring fighter. Very, very boring fighter. So I don't know where people have come out with this. I just don't. Right, let's move over to Joe Joyce. Now, I've been criticised over like the last 18 months to 2 years that I fanboy a little bit too much for Joe Joyce at times. Okay, so what? I like him. Okay, I like his style. I like how he is. I like how he holds himself. But put him in there with Joshua, what? You think he's just going to steamroll Joshua? Joshua's going to have to fight back. He's going to have to. He's going to have to let his hands go. Okay? Then we'll see if Joe Joyce can stand up to it. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. I don't know. Okay? But what are you basing it on? Joe Joyce defeated Joseph Parker and Carlos Takam. Okay, so did Anthony Joshua. When they were in their prime, not the faded versions, that Joe Joyce beat. Arguably, Bryant Jennings beat Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce defeated Daniel Dubois. Okay, good win. But Daniel Dubois, in his last fight against Kevin Lerena, got bounced around. Did he not? He's very, very, very lucky to get out of that first round. He's lucky the referee didn't stop the fight. Had it been on another show, it probably would have done. So what are we basing this on? Joe Joyce was getting leathered by Carlos Takam. Stopped too early for many. He was getting leathered by Christian Hammer. So what are you basing this on? Again, just to reiterate, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that Joe Joyce wouldn't beat Anthony Joshua. I don't know. But the point is, what are you basing it on? Because you don't like Joshua? Because your boxing knowledge ain't that good? I don't know which one it is. It's not that Anthony Joshua can't beat Joe Joyce. Of course he can. It's not that he can't beat Frank Sanchez. Of course he can. Would I like to see the fights? Yes. Should Joshua avoid them? Hell no. Joshua shouldn't be avoiding anyone. We criticise the likes of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for avoiding people. What, you think I want Joshua to start avoiding people? No. I want to see him in there with these guys. Of course I do. Frank Sanchez. Let's see how he gets on with Derek Chisora. Hey? Let's see how Joe Joyce gets on with Zhilei Zhang. He should walk through Zhilei Zhang, in my opinion. He should. People want to criticise Anthony Joshua because he looked a little bit tepid against Jermaine Franklin. Okay, he come off 2 losses. He had to secure the win first and foremost, okay? Much shorter guy. Joshua doesn't really get on with short guys. We've seen that time and time again. But, ultimately, should he have stopped Jermaine Franklin? Well, again, based on what? Has Jermaine Franklin been stopped before? Has he? Has Alexander Usyk been beaten before? Because again, people say Joshua's washed up because he lost twice to Usyk. Okay, well, who has beaten Usyk? Tell me somebody who has. I'll tell you somebody who has avoided him and is the current WBC champion, right? At least Joshua fought him twice. But again, Joshua is going to have to adapt and he's going to have to fight if he's going to fight a Joe Joyce. Frank Sanchez will just be on his back foot running away. I said, not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is what you're basing it on. Because I don't think you're basing it on anything credible. Honestly, I don't. I don't know what it is that you're seeing. I don't. I genuinely don't. I'm a big fan of Joe Joyce. I know I'm not sounding like it in this video, but I am. Would he beat Joshua? Possibly. Would Joshua beat Joyce? Possibly. Let's see it. It doesn't matter that Anthony Joshua knocked out or stopped Joe Joyce in the amateurs. It doesn't matter. Or he laced him up in spite. Who cares? In the pro game, let's see. No head guard. 10-ounce gloves. Let's have a look. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.